We'll go that way. I'm just telling Gazza we're going to turn right. We're not going to ride into the gridlock into Keighley there. Yeah, still loving the sound of these exhausts. It has to be said without a shadow of a doubt. Super duper. Yeah, so they've got the new Shotgun 650s. They've got the three colours, the blue, the green, and the sort of stencil white, I think it's called. They haven't got the demonstrator yet, but as soon as they do, I'll be taking that out for a spin. I think the next bike that I'm due to review out of Appleyards is the CF Moto 800 MT, and I'm very much looking forward to that. That is the bike that's made in collaboration with KTM. It's got the KTM 790 engine in it, but for its on-the-road price, complete with panniers, crash bars, spotlights and every conceivable extra that you would normally have to add on to other bikes of a similar sort of spec, the price that it comes in at with all of that thrown in is well, from what I can see, unrivaled. Yeah, so hopefully the next bike that you see reviewed out of Appleyards will be the CF Moto 800 MT, which I'm very much looking forward to, as well as the Shotgun. And we'll just have a little chat about the Shotgun in case you're in the market for a Shotgun. I think Uncle Stuart, you know, old Uncle Stuart Fillingham, I think he'll be splashing out on one of those. I may be wrong, but I'd be prepared to have a couple of shillings bet on that being his next bike. He has talked about not getting a Super Meteor because he wants to hang on for the rumoured Royal Enfield Classic 650, but I ain't seeing no sign of that, shall we say, breaking cover anytime soon. But I may be wrong, but I've not seen any mood music whatsoever concerning the suggested emergence of that bike. But let's see. And almost completed Norman, my little classic 350. Just some more little bits and bats from Hitchcock's to put on. I'm putting on a bash plate because a few of you recommended that, and also a rear rack and some CNC adjustable brake levers. So that'll be coming up as well. Then she'll be ready to hit the road. Aye. So of course today is the Suzuki, shall we say, Suzuki centric Suzuki themed open day, ride out day at Appleyards, and I've spoken to a couple of people here and a couple of subscribers, so I'm just going to give you a mention, gentlemen. Bob Smith. Bob, I had a chat with you at the new showroom where the Royal Enfields are. Great to meet you, great to have a chat with you, my friend. And yeah, and also Lenny from Doncaster. Lenny, I had a chat with you at the older branch, and great to meet you too, sir. Thank you to both of you, Bob and Lenny, for subscribing. And from what Bob was saying, yes, the YouTube algorithms are being mischievous again, unsubscribing folk. So please, if you get a chance, check that you are subscribed, if you believe that you are. So I'm just going to take a run now with Gazza at the Route 59 Cafe, because he's on a bit of a limited time scale. Yeah, so the Royal Enfield Shotgun 650, which is 90% Royal Enfield Super Meteor 650. And if you are in a quandary, if you are on the horns of a dilemma, if you are wanting either or both of those bikes, what should sway you in one particular direction rather than the other? Well, in terms of lived experience, of course, I can only speak about the Super Meteor 650, because I've had this bike about, let's see, when did I get it? So August, September, October, November, December, about 7 to 8 months I've had this bike now, just over 1,000 miles. And it's growing on me. And so much of the Shotgun 650 is part of this bike, the Super Meteor 650, that I think that what I can say based on experience about this bike is equally applicable to the Shotgun 650. The only real differences between the two bikes are the styling to a certain extent. So the tank is a different shape, and indeed the Shotgun tank is a bit smaller in capacity than the Super Meteor 650. So in the Shotgun I think you're getting something like 12.7 litres there or thereabouts, and on this you're getting just over 15. So yeah, and it's a different shape, which gives the bike a slightly different overall appearance. And the position of the foot controls is less forward, but not much less forward. And the rake is like 2.5 degrees less on the Shotgun. So there's I think there's something like roughly 25 degrees of rake on the Shotgun 650 and 27 point something on this Super Meteor. But other than that, they're basically the same bike. And I know that the Shotgun 650 is sort of probably aimed at a perceived gap in the American market, now that it appears that Harley Davidson don't make smaller cruisers anymore. So it could be that Royal Enfield are seeking to plug that market with the Shotgun 650. That may or may not be the case, but it's something that quite a few people point to in terms of that bike, the Shotgun 650. And I suppose if you're a lover of what the Super Meteor represents in terms of the evolution of Royal Enfield's modern classic range, but you're not keen on feet forward controls, they're not that far foot forward, to be honest with you, barely noticeable, but if you're not a fan of that, then it may well be that the Shotgun 650 might appeal to you more. But that bike is, I mean, the sort of second thing is, in terms of its market appeal, is it's been a customizable platform. So a bike which is aimed from the outset at appealing to people who want to substantially customise their rides. But that said, I don't really think that the Shotgun 650 appears to me, on paper at any rate, and indeed in the flesh, as being any more optimised for customisation than this bike is, which is a bit of a strange one. So it'll be interesting to see to what extent, if any, the sales of the Shotgun 650 outperform the Super Meteor, bearing in mind the fact that they are basically the same bike in all but name and appearance. But I do like the look of it, both in single seat format and in double seat format. It's a great looking bike, but then so is this to my eye. And interesting also, if memory serves, the Shotgun, at least in concept terms, broke cover before this, the Super Meteor. I seem to remember either at EICMA or possibly the NEC, there was, I assume it was a pre-production model of the Shotgun, and that predates the formal release of the Super Meteor. So it's obviously an idea Royal Enfield have had kicking about for some time. So between the two, if we take out of the equation the fact that forward riding positions do tend to divide opinions, if we take that out of the equation and look at between the two bikes which is the more desirable, and of course desirable being an entirely subjective term which is largely defined by a couple of things. One, your sort of personal taste and artistic nuances, shall we say, and secondly by your intended use for the bike. So what I would say is, for touring purposes, I think this bike wins the day, because I just find it incredibly comfortable, notwithstanding the infamous firm suspension at the rear, which has improved a little bit since I notched up the compression. But I think this particular bike lends itself to long, lazy, effortless touring. Whereas the Shotgun, which I'm sure you will be able to tour on that bike, and I'm sure you'll be able to get things like soft and hard luggage for it, etc. eventually. I think that's more of a sort of weekend ride out and pose bike, if that ain't been too condescending. And I know that's a bit of a reductionist argument, isn't it? But that's how I sort of see it. But it's a fine divide, and at the end of the day, if the looks and feel of the Shotgun 650 speak to your soul, and the Super Meteor perhaps doesn't to the same extent, it's an easy choice, isn't it? For me, the difference between the two bikes is almost vanishingly small, and much as I love the look of the Shotgun 650, I don't think I'd be minded to swap this bike out for that one anytime soon, because the loss in capital terms would not in any way, shape or form cushion, or rather do you know what, I'm talking bollocks again. What I mean to say What I should have said is that the potential loss in capital by changing from this to a Shotgun 650 would not be cushioned in any way by an improved ownership and riding experience, let me put it that way. Sorry, I lost my thread there for a little bit, but this here talking and trying to make a bit of sense and not always succeeding, and riding not as straightforward as you might think. But any road up, yeah. So we will see whether something like a classic 650 comes onto the horizon, but I just think when Royal Enfield have a lineup which consists of the Continental GT, the Interceptor, the Super Meteor 650 and the Shotgun 650, I don't know where the logic of the insertion of a fifth model based on the 650 parallel twin engine would make a whole lot of sense, but I may be wrong. So I'm not convinced that a classic 650 is about to break cover anytime soon, but I'll be happy to be proved wrong. Yeah, so sort of 1,000 miles and sort of 7 months in on this bike, at the risk of tempting Providence, it hasn't missed a beat. There have been absolutely no issues, no worries, no concerns, nothing from left field, no curved balls, nothing of that nature. It's been absolutely spot on. Yeah, so all I would say is don't dismiss this bike because you might have preconceived ideas about cruisers and whether cruisers are for you. It's a great riding experience overall, and that's all that matters. So just and once again, absolute thank you everybody that has subscribed and viewed the channel and shared the videos and clicked to like and all the rest of it. I really appreciate it, and I really do appreciate your comments. And I've had 1 or 2 comments of interest. So on the issue of the question that I posed about that Kent Performance cam for the Royal Enfield Classic 350, should I wait until the bike's fully running at 1200 miles before fitting that cam, or should I fit it essentially at the first service? And the responses are 50-50. Like, half of you thought, no, wait, well, it's fully run in, so you can really appreciate the difference in performance. Totally get that, totally understand it. And half of you said, no, if you're running in the engine, part 2 of the running in process, then why not running the cam at the same time? And that right. And that makes a lot of sense as well. Yeah, do the first service when all the gubbins is off the bike, and once you've done that, you can do the cam replacement. Ends up being a bit less work. So I'm still on the horns of that particular dilemma. So we shall just see about that, won't we? But I'll definitely be going that way. And Dan from Hitchcock's just sent me an email to say that they now have in stock the improved and re-engineered locking tool to assist in the fitting of the performance cam. So I'll almost certainly be going down that route, because those of you that have fitted it say that the performance in the mid and upper range is noticeably improved. But I did get a couple of comments saying it'll chew up your, eventually it'll chew up your cam chain. So you mechanically minded people out there, I don't know what your thoughts would be there. Do you think there are implications for the longevity of the cam chain by fitting a performance cam? Performance cam, of course, has, as I understand it, larger lobes to get more action on the valves, and also that the valves, because the profile is different, the valves remain open for longer. I think that's how it works. So yeah, what do you think? Do you think there are implications for the cam chain there, or for its life expectancy? Not sure. So back there at it's a big mistake going into any bike showroom, particularly one as big as Appleyard's, with the amount of stock they've got in. Both myself and Gazza were in there drooling over that Husqvarna Norden 901 Expedition model, and I think that's got to be, in my humble opinion, the best looking adventure bike, period. Most certainly, to my mind, the best looking mid-sized adventure bike. But I just think it looks absolutely stunning, that thing. And if I did have £14,500 burning a hole in my pocket, and I absolutely don't, I'd be very, very seriously tempted indeed. Just the right weight for me. Lighter than this, in fact. And as I've said on previous videos, I think my sort of weight limit now is about sort of 220 kilograms, 230. Now I know this is 241, but it's a very, very low slung bike, low seat height, low centre of gravity. So in spite of its heft, shall we say, it's unlikely to compromise me in a way that the Pan-European did. And the Pan-European has a new owner, so I don't know if you watch the channel, my friend, but you look after her, eh? Or I'll send the boys round.
actually got a cover for it, but... Oh.
Right, well that was a very convivial hour or so at the Route 59 cafe, having a pot of steam and chewing the fat with my pal VFR Mitch and my pal Andy and my pal Nick, Mr. Silver Fox Travels. Great to see you again, Nick. And a couple of other bikers there, and we sat down chewing the fat and putting the world to rights, surrounded by noisy motorbikes. Heaven with the door shut. Brilliant. So just going to go for a bit of a scenic ride now, and nothing special about today's video other than to share just some of my thoughts around the Shotgun 650, and the minute the demo becomes available at Appleyards I'll be able to take you out for a ride on it and tell you what I really think. Yeah, and yeah, so as I was saying, hopefully the next review will be the CF Moto 800 MT. But great to meet also there at the Route 59. I think 3 of my wonderful subscribers came up for a chat. And it's absolutely grand when that happens. I really do enjoy chatting to you good people. Makes all the effort worthwhile when you rock up somewhere and people recognise you and come over and shake your hand and have a chat. That's what life's all about. Aye, so if you were in the market to one of the 2 bikes, which would you go for? Would you be a Super Meteor person, or would you be a Shotgun 650 person? I can pretty much guarantee that the riding experience on both would be virtually identical. The only difference worth the name being the foot position, and I suspect that after a short while you'd be hard pressed to notice the difference. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Alright, so that be it for today. Sorry, it was just a bit of a ramble, bit of a conversational ride out. No particular theme or subject at hand. Other than just taking advantage of a rare dry day. So yeah, thanks ever so much for watching this far, if indeed you have. And in the meantime, ride safe, be kind, and I'll see you.